Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Today, I will show you a news classification or news categorization project using LLM. All right, here what we did. Let me show you through my screen. Let me share my screen. This is the overview of our project, what we did there. And let's name it news categorization or classification using large language model. Here we are scraping data from a famous website, KalerKantho, and we are just putting those data into a warehouse or a database, then transforming those data using large language model and giving some insight to a different table. Then let's visualizing it like that. So I raw data to this graph. Okay, so this is the website we will seek out. And here we can see the website, and we can see there's internal link here. We need these text actually from those internal link, not these like small texts, because these small texts are not good for large language models analytical purpose. We need to get into these data, and we need to study these, and we have to make the categorization from this. We will categorize using LLM. Okay, let's get into the code base. Here's our script, step 1 and step 2. What's step 1 and what's step 2? The step 1 is to scrape this home page, and the step 2 is to get into these internal links and scrape them. So how did we do that? Okay, let me show you. If we just go into this view page source, and we could just see, let's say, sorry, there's a stretched link. There's a class name stretched links for every link there. Every link are inside this stretched link. This is the link actually. This is the link. Okay. So we need to scrape this and see where's the stretched link and get into the stretched link again and scrape this again. So the step 1 is actually getting into the home page, and I'm doing this using Selenium and putting this data into Spark data frame, and we are overwriting the table, the raw table. This is the base URL, excuse me. And then we are just getting to the stretch links, and we are looping through those stretch links and scraping those data from step 2. All right. And putting those data into these raw scrape table. Okay, here are 17 rows previously scraped. If we newly scrape the data, it will just overwrite. No data of the previous site will be here, and the new data will be written. Okay, now let me scrape the data first. Let's run this. As I'm using PySpark here, Spark, the distributed computing, if the data is large. And actually, we could use pandas or whatever if you want. We could just enter those data raw. And in this case, we are using this jar file for the warehouse. We are using the PostgreSQL database. So we are using Spark. Spark takes some time for initializing it. Let me show you. It's initializing, and it will script those data. And there's a time delay for every data because as KalerKantho is a website, a kind of a modern website, it has some rate limiting feature. If you just hit too much in some very few times, it will just lock you as a bot. Okay, it's scraping the data. Okay, let's get back when it all scraped the data. Oh, we're back. Here's our scraped data, and this is the steps where we scrape those data: the title, the link, and the description. And this is the pandas data frame, PySpark data frame, where we've just put those data. This is the long text from those inside data. Okay, now what do we have to do? We just passed through this step, the script. This is in our new data, the script data. Now we have to pass through this LLM and we need to put this into the table. Now let's transform the data. So what do? We are just we're just taking those data from the raw script data, reading them, and putting those to the LLM. And for the LLM, I'm using Grok API key and using these OpenAI GPT OSS 120 billion model parameter. And here I'm just taking those data in this response. I need just either I need categorize, region, accident, if it is or not, death, crime. This specific some features. If you want, you could do anything. All right. Now let's transform those data into, let's feeding those data into the LLM. Here we see the LLM will see each, let's say it says the education news and Shikok Kormokorta is like teacher and some staffs and some kind of facts is given here. Political, these are just given here actually. Okay, this is just putting these data to the LLM, and LLM is giving me this answer. The education, this news is for about education, about Bangladesh, and no crime, no blah blah blah, whatever. Let's say this is crime. No, no, whatever. What was the threshold here? Let me see. It was no accident, no death, but it was crime. Why? That means it's crime. So LLM is taking those properly. Let's say it says someone asked for 10 lakh Bangladeshi taka and there was some fighting. So this is a crime. Okay, it's finished. And let's see the script. Actually, this was a raw script table. And this is the, where are you? This is there are 51 table, 51 data. And let's rerun this now. The new data also added here. Now 68 data. And here it's saying the category, region, accident or not. These things are given here. And now we have done this part too. Now we just need to visualize this data. So to visualize it, actually, we just using the matplotlib and seaborn, and let's run this, taking the category from those table. Okay, simple. See, there's 25 politics news. There's crimes of how many? Let's 13. Business news is kind of like 7 or 8. It's 8 actually. And there's only one sports news. Okay, let's check this if it's correct or not. Let's see. Let's ask from here where category is sports. There's only one news, so it's perfect, right? And this is sports, Bangladesh. Okay, let's see what is the news actually. I'm interested in the sports. ICC, Bangladesh, দাবি পূরণ না করলে টি20 বিশ্বকাপ খেলতে পাকিস্তান. Okay, whatever. It's also Pakistan cricket board. They are talking about some if ICC, blah, 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 whatever. I don't care. So this is actually what we did. It's a complete end-to-end project. It's kind of a mix of data and AI engineering. And we just make it a schedule using Apache Airflow or a cronjob, and it will just continuously update your data daily and continuously fetch you the analysis of the data today what you've done. So that's it for now. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.